In this series of videos, previously we covered many aspects of ASQ CCQM exam. We talked about how to prepare for that, what is expected, and so many other things which we have covered. Now let's jump on to some sample questions and try to solve them. So what we will be doing is in this video, which is video number 8 and video number 9, we will try to solve some sample questions. So in this video, we will solve 5 questions, and then in the next video, we will solve 9 questions which are related to the ASQ CCQM body of knowledge. Let's start with the first question. Now here is the first question, which says that which of the following contract types transfers the highest risk to the contractor? Now, once I read at this question, there are few things which I need to look at. One is that this is looking at the contract type and it's looking at the highest risk and highest risk to the contractor. That's what we need to focus on. And now we have 4 choices: cost plus fixed fee, time and material, lump sum, and cost reimbursable. Now, what probably I would do is I will go by elimination. Now, one particular tip which I learned in my latest exam, which was CCQM, which I appeared on 1st of April, what I learned was that in ASQ exam, if you right click on any option, that basically crosses out that particular option. So let's say when I'm looking at the contract type with the highest risk for contractor, I would say that cost plus fixed fee is absolutely not the right answer. So if I right click on option number A, what it will do is it will cross it out. Now this is eliminated from the choice, and it will remain eliminated even if you come back to this question later on. Now if I look at the second option, which is time and material does not offer too much of risk to the contractor. Probably I will rule out that as well by right clicking on that. Cost reimbursable, I think this is the safest option. Cost reimbursable, it's very safe option for the contractor. Whatever contractor spends, contractor will get that money back. It's more of a risk to the client. So now I'm left with one choice, which is lump sum. That's the right answer. And if I look at the next slide, here I get the explanation of that. The lump sum is the correct answer because the contractor bears the cost and performance risk. They put a fixed price that for this particular project we will charge $1.1 million or maybe $550, whatever it is. Now any fluctuation, any unexpected things which happen have to be borne by the contractor. So this particular choice offers the highest risk to the contractor. So choice number 3 is the right answer. Coming to the next question. Now question number 2 is the main purpose of project specific quality management plan is to. Now we have 4 choices. Control cost overrun in procurement. I would say that's absolutely not related to this. I can straight away rule this out. Define environmental safety goals. Absolutely no. Now let's look at option number 3, which is outline inspection, testing and documentation processes. Yeah, maybe, yes. And choice number 4 is replace the organization's QMS documentation. You might get confused with that. But then remember this, you have 2 main documents. One is the company level QMS documentation, which is the quality manual, which is for the whole company, which is separate from the project specific quality management plan. So the project specific quality management plan does not replace the organization's QMS documentation. Even though there was a slight doubt on that, but after rethinking, you can rule this out. You will be left with choice number C. That's the right answer. So now here is the answer to question number 2, which says the choice number C is correct because QMP defines inspection, testing and reporting processes. Moving to question number 3, which is design reviews are primarily conducted to, and here we are looking at design review. What do design reviews do? Choice A is reduce the cost of construction material. Yeah, maybe if we do design review, that might lead to reduction in the cost of construction material. Maybe, but it's not a very strong choice. Choice number B is validate that design output meets the quality requirements. That is basically a technical definition of design reviews. So if you look at the definition of design review, basically it validates that the design output meets the input requirements. This is a very strong candidate. Now if I look at choice number C, which is train junior engineers, strike it out. Delay the need of permit, strike it out. Even though A and B, there was a slight discussion, but the B is the strong choice. So I will go with choice number B. And that's the correct answer. Design reviews ensure that the output aligns with the requirement. Coming to question number 4. Which tool is best used during root cause analysis for categorizing potential causes? So now if I look at the root cause analysis, probably I can say that during the root cause analysis, I could use all these four tools. All these four tools could be used in root cause analysis. But the clue to this question lies here, which is for categorizing potential causes. So when we are looking at the potential causes, my mind straight away goes to fishbone diagram, because that's where we have causes and sub causes. And here we have the problem statement. So choice number C is the correct answer here, and that's what you will see in the answer sheet here. Moving on to question number 5, which is what is the correct first step upon identifying a non-conforming item? So if you find a non-conformity at site, which could be related to the workmanship or which could be related to the material, what is the first step? One is discard the item immediately. Yeah, probably you might have to discard that, but not necessary. Not for every non-conformity you will discard the material, and that too immediately. Things like this, immediately, always, all the time, if you get those sort of a things in the answer, you should be doubting that. That might not be the correct answer, because there are always exceptions to that. Immediately means like no thinking, nothing else. All the time, in every piece, those probably will not be the right answer. So let's hold on to this. Choice number B is notify the customer. Maybe I need to notify the customer if there's a non-conformity, but that's not the first step. I might have to do that. Let's hold on to that as well. And the third choice here is document and isolate the item. Yeah, that makes more sense. So if you have a non-conformity, you document that and you isolate that so that by chance you don't use that item. Let's say if you have a valve which has some defect, you identified that at the site. First thing you might want to do is you might want to isolate that so that by mistake that valve is not erected. And for this we have a quarantine area at the site where this valve will be placed so that by mistake we do not use that. This looks a strong choice, choice number C. And the fourth choice is issue a final invoice. No way, that's ruled out. So looking at these options, I will go with option number C, even though we do action number A and B as well, but the first thing what we do is choice number C. Now, one thing which you would see here is, and which I was very concerned about myself when I went for CCQM exam, that when I see a right choice, my mind gets blocked. So for example, when I saw that choice number C is good choice, probably I would have stopped thinking about choice number D. But then I was very clear in this exam that I will read through all the choices. I will strike out all these choices which are not applicable, and then only I will choose the correct answer. So even though C was a good choice, I still went through choice number D without quickly jumping and declaring that the C is the right answer. So look at all the four choices, and based on that, now choice number C is the correct answer, and that's what you see here. So these are the 5 questions. So one thing what you would see in here is I might have taken long time, but this long time was basically my thinking in slow motion just to explain those concepts. Otherwise, probably you can solve these questions much faster. But here I wanted to explain my thinking process as well. and obviously you will not take that much time what I have taken to explain these questions. So these are the 5 questions as a first group, and then in the next video, which is the video serial number 9, we will look at 9 more questions which are related to ASQ CCQM exam. Let's see them in the next video.